ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TEDxMargao. It's my pleasure to welcome you back to this beautiful and vibrant state of Goa. My name is Kedar Borkar, and I am a Goikar. A word, thank you, a word or a term that we Goans use to express our love and connection to this land, right? Now, many of you might be wondering, why am I welcoming you back to this place? And that's because I am going to share a small story about how our organization and I broke various barriers in the past couple of years that changed the face of Goa. And we did that while coming up with an initiative that has garnered a lot of love and appreciation from people like you and travelers from across the world. Now, before we go ahead, let me touch upon what motivated us to break these barriers after all. Goa is seen through a very narrow lens. I mean, it's no doubt a vibrant state, but it's seen through a very narrow lens. It's famous for its beautiful beaches, wild parties, casinos, and the seafood. While these elements are definitely a part of Goa's charm, they do create a very one-sided image of Goa, right? These elements are so strongly associated with Goa that they impact the way we Goans and Goa are looked at. Now, this realization hit me hard through a personal experience, one I believe many of you would be able to relate to. Back in 2013, immediately after my graduation, I was living in Pune with 3 of my other flatmates who came from other parts of India. And it was a long weekend. We were packing our bags, and when we were packing our bags and we were leaving back home, all of us decided that we would get something special when we come back. While one of them said that he would get his grandmother's favorite homemade pickle, the others said that they would get like a nice delicacy from their villages and cities, respectively. And even before it was my turn, and I could say something like a bebinka or a pav, right? Everybody said, you need to get a bottle of alcohol. तू तो गोवा से है ना, आते वक्त एक खंबा लेके आना. And I was like, and initially I laughed it off just like the way you guys did. But later I realized it was a very stereotypical statement that was being made towards me. The same evening, I happened to connect with a few of my other friends, and I found that it was not just limited to us, but the problem was not just limited to us close friends, but it was pretty widespread. We found that when we connected across Goans across other parts of the world and other parts of India who were working elsewhere. We decided to do something about it. Maybe this stemmed from the kind of image Bollywood painted, or maybe it was because of those certain parties that happened in certain parts of Goa. The time was not to play the blame game, but the question was, what are we going to do really about it? Fast forward to 2018, when we left our job with the sole intention of changing the way Goa is perceived, we ran our first social media campaign called as the Stereotypes of Goa. All we did was, we called 10 of our friends and asked them to write the most stereotypical statement that has ever been made to them as a Goan. The responses were hilarious, strange, surprising, but rather shocking. I would like to take you through a few of them. The first one was when my friend was asked, Goa ki language Goanese hai na? I mean, I'm not sure whether this language even exists. Of course, we speak Konkani, Marathi, English, Hindi, and so on, but Goanese is definitely not one of them. The second was when my friend was asked, are there any colleges in Goa? Goa's literacy rate stands at 93.2% and is one of the leading states in the country, but I really don't know where these thoughts come from. The third was when my friend was asked, are you at the beach? I mean, you must be at the beaches 24/7. I mean, you will be really lucky maybe to do that. We would have it someday. But we love our evening strolls and we love those salty swims once in a while, but we're not at the beach 24/7. And last but not the least, back to the original khamba. If you're from Goa, you're expected to get a bottle of alcohol, right? So, trust me guys, this was just the tip of the iceberg. And I'm sure, I mean, there were many more words, and I'm sure if I do this exercise right now, I'll have 100 more responses from all of you. We gathered all of these together and put it out on social media. At that time, the campaign did 1 million hits. That meant that now a lot of Goans, it had touched a lot of Goans' hearts. That also meant that a lot of non-Goans now knew that Goa has a lot more to offer than what met the eye. While this campaign was reaching its peak, we launched a concept called Goa Beyond Beaches. The idea was when travelers come to Goa, they get to explore the other side of Goa. As someone who was born and brought up in Goa for the last 28 years, we knew that Goa has a lot more to offer in terms of its rich heritage, culture, art, cuisine, music, literature, lifestyle, and most importantly, the amalgamation of cultures that what makes Goa today. Today, we are proud to say that we have hosted more than 45,000 travelers, right from some of the top chefs, celebrities, artists, and delegations from across the world, including the recently concluded G20 summit hosted by Indian government. One of our most common reviews that we get is that they have come to Goa for the last 10 to 15 years, and this is the first time they got to witness something unique and different. And one of the recent instances that happened was when we hosted a group of mothers on a specially curated trail, and all they had to say was that they were very skeptical about sending their children to Goa, but now that they've seen the other side, they're pretty confident of doing so. Moving on, this brings me to my second story about breaking barriers. Now, one of the things while we came up with this concept was how could we impact the local community? The idea was not just to showcase the other side or take you on a sightseeing tour, but how do we involve the local community so that we realize that the essence of the place is actually when they host you? How could we actually bring the hospitality of the locals to the front? Most of us Goans know that the economy of tourism is limited to the coastline, thus leaving the people of the hinterlands and the local community underserved. In order to address this, we ventured into the villages, spoke to as many locals as possible, collaborated with village panchayats, and found that a lot of Goans were actually interested in being a part of this initiative. Eventually, we went on to create a special curations team that worked with the local community, brought them into the formal economy, trained them into various aspects of tourism, right from hospitality, or teaching them how to prepare different types of cuisines to cater to different markets. And today, we are proud to say that we have now collaborated and working closely with more than 120 community hosts who come from various backgrounds, right from fishermen, farmers, homeowners, owners of local chefs, local restaurants and cafes, chefs, musicians, who are now a part of this newly formed experiential tourism industry and are able to reap the benefits of tourism. This brings me to my third and last breaking barrier story. And to be honest, guys, this was something that we didn't anticipate. When we came up with this concept of experiential tourism, we realized that we required to attract young talent. I mean, we were fortunate enough to find a few like-minded people who went on to become a part of our core team. But in order to take this to the next level and to scale up, we required to attract young talent. And at that time, all the people graduating from high schools and colleges were looking to join the top brands in hospitality or maybe go on a ship. And it was not their fault, right? End of the day, they were looking for a secure and safe job. The question was, how could we make this experiential tourism industry as attractive, as lucrative, and as a viable option to join? Of course, to solve the problem, we collaborated, we went out and collaborated with as many education institutions as possible, right from hospitality management schools and colleges that were offering courses into history, architecture, literature, etc., and signed MOUs with them. right from being a part of those induction programs to offering various training programs, conducting various sessions, to hosting them on field trips, we did it all. We were also fortunate enough to get a lot of support from the other industry stakeholders, such as the Department of Tourism and other leaders from the hospitality space who helped us train our team. Today, we are proud to say that we have more than 30 plus individuals, passionate individuals who are now a part of our team and are actually representing us, representing Goa, not only taking on the other side and changing the way Goa is perceived, but also helping you connect with the local community. With all these initiatives, we are sure that we shall develop a parallel experiential tourism industry, connect you with the local community, help the local community grow, help the local economy grow, but not only that, break all the barriers that come in between and break all the stereotypes and myths about Goa. With this, I would like to thank you all for listening to me patiently, and you've been a great audience. And I would like to leave you with one last thought, that whenever you come across any challenges or face any problems, always try to dig deeper. The answers lie there. If you get into the depth, you'll find yourself solutions and you'll find yourself a treasure there. May it be a place or a person, there's always more than what meets the eye. Thank you. Moga Sumana.